Good morning, everyone. It is Throat Punch Thursday, May 27th. We have initial jobless claims this morning, GDP, so quite a bit of economic data as we look to start the day here, pending home sales. We'll see what that does to our markets. We're pretty split right now. The Dow is up, the Russell's up, the Qs and the SPY are down a little bit. Not crazy up or down. So you can see we're kind of in a little bit of a stalled pattern, hanging with the three, and not, so yesterday's volume here was a little bit lighter. So we had light volume, a smidge more light volume, and we're seeing a lot of this light volume. And what does that tell us? It tells us the market isn't ready to make a decision yet. And there's an awful lot of capital that isn't in the market. So those are things to think about as we start to pick up steam in the market. Eventually we will pick up steam. We aren't going to stay in this sort of these doldrums. Now, keep in mind, as we move into summer, kids are graduating, all of that kind of stuff. We are summer's typically a quiet time, right? That's typical. So we have to deal with that, lighter volume to begin with. But I think that we'll still pick up a little bit once the markets get a better footing. It's always a wait and see, right? Because we can sit here and pontificate and say, well, this is the way it looks like it's going, and we'll see. So here's the look at oil. It is still putting in a little channel there, and gold hanging out right at the 3. So it came back in a little bit here yesterday, and a little bit overnight, still hanging in a pretty decent spot.
Coming up at 8:30.
Thanks, Charles. So still hanging in a pretty decent spot. I do have half of a gold position, and then I entered GILD. If you have not seen the video on why I entered GILD, it is a reversal play, an RSI2 play. So go watch the video. It is on our YouTube channel, and it was emailed out to everyone. Okay, but let's hop into some charts for today and what I am watching. I'm going to start right off with, well, we keep spending money, which means it keeps getting shipped to our homes, which means UPS is doing really well on track. In this channel, we drew in a few sessions ago, and we are still, or this wedge, we are still working our way in that wedge. I really like the look of this here. It's held in on lower volume, just kind of accumulating and consolidating here. Looking at UPS, the 716 to 20s. I'm going to go ahead and apologize because Sherman's, again, pretty fussy this morning, so he may start barking in the background. Okay, STX, this has been on our list now 3 or 4 times, coming right back to it yesterday. So holding the 20 very well, right? And although we have this downward slope, looking for it's really steep, I know that. Wait, here. Doesn't look as steep now. Looking at this slope, looking for a break out of that downward trending slope. But keep in mind, so when I say downward trending, not over, right? Not everything about it is downward trending. You can look at it like a wedge. But I'm looking for this upper trend line to be broken. Again, we've worked on lighter volume. STX, I'm looking at the 716 100. Another one that was on our list this week is Crowd. I still very much like Crowd. It has continued to make its way up. We have an earnings catalyst coming up next week, pushing through that point of control area. Yesterday, we poked our head out and away from all of the volume resistance that we have here. And looking at it, anything over 224. In Crowd, I would look at the, well, you can do the 618 or the 716. I like the 225s in Crowd. Okay. Workhorse. I know this one up off of the bottom, really beat up here. Had a 3-8 cross, looking for a move over the 20. Plenty of room here. Lack of volume resistance, which is nice, but plenty of room to the up to the 50. I like the 716 9s on those. Or this would be a great equity trade as well. It's a great price point for the equity trade. Well, let's have some Pepsi. I know, old name, right? Look at the overall market move. It looks very volatile. It's really not. You know, we just keep climbing up, but now we've put in this little shelf looking for a break of yesterday's close there, 148.30. Looking for a break and then a breakout play on that at the 148.77. So on Pepsi, I'm watching the 716 150s. Stitch Fix. Haven't seen this one in the list in a while. Yesterday, I didn't see it until pretty late in the day, but it snuck up here over the 200 and cleared out some resistance. Anything over this fib line I really like. Fib line sitting right around 53.30. Stitch Fix, the 618.55. Now, why 618? Because there was nothing else really worth playing. But as you know, it gains a little bit of momentum, those longer terms will probably fill up. It does have earnings. Yeah, is it next week? Oh no, 6/7. So 2 weeks from not quite 2 weeks from now. So keep an eye on Stitch Fix. I would prefer a longer term option on that, even though it does have earnings. I would prefer a longer term option, but the 618 are the ones that are in play here. Texas Instruments staying nicely above the 50. The semiconductor space has been doing pretty well. You know, we've seen a lot of that sector rotation, like the look here over 189.10. I did not find any options I like on that one either. And leads. Really don't know hardly anything about this. Typically not a big volume. You can tell because you can't really see anything down here. But it popped up on one of my scans that I do here. It's actually in a pretty decent area for those who want to just play an equity. I think anything over the 990 really clears it up. Lots of space up to that next, well, fib line, but also all the way up to that high of 1344. And Zscaler. Zscaler had earnings, came down, still closed green. I like this gap play. Look to see, watch, see if it holds the gap. If it holds the gap, continues back up to anything through yesterday's close is where I would look. All right, that is it for me here today. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday. If you have any questions, please reach out. Heather C. at givingtreetrading.com.